Namaste. I'm Richard Power, and this is Spoken Words of Power, and I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about mantra yoga in general and the 12-syllable mantra in particular. 12-syllable mantra. Om, Ah, Om, Benza, Guru, Peme, Siddhi, Om. Om Ahum Benza Guru Peme Siddhi Hum. Hum you'll also read in various texts as Hum, and Benzar you'll typically see as Vajra, but I pronounce it as Benzar, which is the more Tibetan pronunciation. And Peme you'll see quite often, most typically actually, as Padma. Peme is Padma. Om Ahum Vajraguru Peme Siddhi Hum. Om Ahum Vajraguru Peme Siddhi Hum. 12-syllable mantra is the great mantra of the legendary yogi Padma Sambhava and of his consort, the great yogini Yeshe Tsogyal. But before we go into the elements of the 12-syllable mantra, just a couple of, well, actually 7 points about mantra yoga in particular. Mantra yoga in general. First of all, you don't have to use mantras to journey deep into the nature of your own being and into the nature of the universe. You don't have to use mantras. Secondly, you don't have to use one particular mantra as opposed to any other number of mantras. If you have an affinity for one and you're drawn to it, it's asking you to learn more about it. But there's no mantra that is superior. Among the great mantras, there's no one mantra that's superior to another. And the third point here is that you don't have to adhere to a formal system to derive benefit, to access the power of a mantra and to derive the benefit of it. I realize that's a somewhat controversial statement, but I'm confident in what you need is coming from a place of unconditional love in your heart and recitation of a mantra and purity of aspiration in your consciousness with the utterance of a mantra. Those points aside, mantra does the whole universe is vibration. All of the universe is vibration. And mantra can lead you into subtle discovery of subtler and subtler levels of vibration within the universe. It can help you get into sync with these subtler and subtler levels of vibration. And all ignorance is density. And all enlightenment is this sensitizing to the subtler and subtler levels of our being and of the great being of which we're all parts, reflections. So mantra can also open the centers within your vehicles, your body and your other vehicles that can open the centers within you. Particularly the greatest importance, of course, the crown center, the throat center, and the heart center. And we'll talk a little bit more about those. But it can open the centers in your body and get you in sync with the subtler levels of vibration in the universe. It can also, each syllable of a great mantra contains technical information. And that technical information in the recitation of a mantra goes into your consciousness and worked with your consciousness behind the veil of waking consciousness. Just as in dreams, in the dream time you get all kinds of information from your consciousness, from the subconscious. you get all kinds of information that enters into the small, narrow part of our minds that we are aware of. The rest of it behind the curtain is working all the time. There's technical information that is used, whether we're aware of it or not, by our bigger elements, larger elements of ourselves, greater elements of ourselves. And also, great mantra carries with it momentum. I mean, all the countless beings down through the centuries who with great aspiration and some with great realization have lived this mantra and died into this mantra down through the ages. Energy, no energy is lost. A great mantra has momentum, and when you sync up with that mantra, you are riding that momentum. It means something. Okay, so the elements of the 12-syllable mantra. Om Ahum, Om, the crown, Ah, the throat, Om, the heart. Benzar, Vajra, diamond. Guru, Guru really means truth. Truth is the only guru. And it also kind of in ordinary, its base meaning, Guru's base meaning is something like heavy, as in heavy laden, or heavy laden, heavy load. And Peme, Padma, the lotus blossom, that thing of incredible divine whiteness that comes into its fullness, floating on the mud of a swamp, the lotus, the white lotus. Siddhi, power, energy. And Hum, again, the heart capacity, the heart center, the great heart from which all arises and into which all returns. Om Ahum is Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. Dingo Kensei translates it literally as thou, you, Vajra Guru, who has arisen from the lotus blossom, grant me the ordinary and sublime accomplishments. Let me offer you a little, let me break it down and kind of put it into a more direct, practical parlance. Om Ahum. Benzar Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. Thou, the universe, the great being, of which this life is only a reflection. Fill this vessel. Bring a flowering of reflection, a flowering of realization, a flowering of enlightenment from this heart, from this lotus blossom, on this lotus blossom. Let divine consciousness be born into itself. And from that realization, give me the power, give me the energy, give me the functions, give me the resources that I need to journey in this life in a way that serves that greater realization, that greater reflection. It's all internalized. Om is Amitabha, the great Buddha of love, the red medicine Buddha. Ah is Avalokiteshvara Chenrezig, the great trans-historical, trans-dimensional, trans-temporal being the Christ of in the Tibetan, and Hong is the Nirmanakaya, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, Nirmanakaya, the bliss body, Padma, Sambhava, and you, the Padma Sambhava in you, the great Guru in you, blossoming forth, unlocked, Om Ahom Bindaguru Pemasiddhi Hom. Thou, the divine of which this human life is a reflection, open the lotus blossom of this heart and give me the power that I need to journey in your reflection. Now, Yeshe Tsogyal has a secret. And Yeshe Tsogyal's secret is to say it in reverse. It's an open secret. She writes about it. Yeshe Tsogyal, by the way, is the being who wrote down Padma Sambhava's great liberation teaching and hid away amidst the cache of precious things, so it would be read by those blessed devotees of the future. So Yeshe says it also has great power to say it backwards. So Hong, Di, Sid, Ma, Pa, Ru, Gu, Ra, Va, Hun, Ah, Om. To say it in reverse, think of it like you're peeling the onion of that brings the tears, the onion of ignorance. And when you unravel an onion altogether, there's nothing at the center. Great benefits are ascribed to repeating the mantra with genuine aspiration and genuine unselfish devotion. Okay, repeat it forwards 100 times a day, and people will start to look at you differently. They will be drawn to your atmosphere. Say it 100,000 times in reverse, and the faults of body, speech, and mind will be purified. Say it 6 million times in reverse, and you will, she says, churn the deep abyss of samsara. Churn it. Stir it up. Bring change. Quickening. Say it tens of millions of times going forward, and all the Buddhas of all the realms and all the 3 times will stand with you. Well, what they're really saying is this has great power. Open up to the great power from a selfless place and from a place of unconditional love, from a place of harmlessness. Open up to this power, and it will move with you through your journey, and it will transform the nature of your journey, and it will lead you to where you are to go and who you are to be. So those are some thoughts, thoughts on mantra yoga in general and the 12-syllable mantra in particular. And next time I'll talk about the 6-syllable mantra and a corollary in the mysticism, in the Christian mysticism of the West, that I think they illuminate each other by looking at them together. So, namaste. Om Ahom Bindaguru Pemasiddhi Hom. Hundi Sima Padruku Trapahom Ahom.